I wonder often if there's any relationship between guilt and gold. That the love of money is the root of evil. It's a very true saying. Because you see, the difference between having a job and having a vocation is that a job is some unpleasant work you do in order to make money, with the sole purpose of making money. And there are plenty of jobs because there is still a certain amount of dirty work that nobody wants to do, and that therefore they will pay someone to do it. There is essentially less and less of that kind of work because of mechanization. But if you do a job with the sole purpose of making money, you are absurd. Because if money becomes the goal, and it does when you work that way, you begin increasingly to confuse it with happiness or with pleasure. Yes, one can take a whole handful of crisp dollar bills and practically water your mouth over them. But this is this kind of a person who is confused like a Pavlov dog who salivates on the wrong bell.
Boom. Tales of Macaque podcast. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. I want to play that little first part. That's an Alan Watts clip of him talking about money and work. It's been something I've been thinking about for a long, long time, the connection between work and money. You know, I have a dad who had the same corporate job for 35 years. He tells me that that's the way to success in life. I studied accounting at the University of San Diego. They told me that was the path to success. And I fucked this all up by moving to Asia, straight out of college, and seeing that other people do not live this way. They do not necessarily live this way. Some of them do, some of them choose to. But it doesn't have to be. And so one thing I really liked is going around and asking people about their weird lives. And that's a big reason I started this podcast. So I can get to know, like, what are people doing besides sitting in offices, besides doing these things that I've been told my whole life that I have to do in order to achieve anything of salt. And that's why I was really excited to talk to my guest today, Julian Waterbury. Now, Julian and I, we grew up very differently. I grew up private schools, nice, stable family, very skinny. That was my body issue. Julian was the opposite in most ways. He moved around a little bit as a child. I didn't get into too much about his parents, but I'm sure there's some good stories there. He grew up fat. He grew up fighting. He grew up defending himself. And now he's made it his life to teach people how to fight. That's how he makes his money. But he doesn't strike me as a guy that does it grudgingly, you know. He talks about fighting people and, like, all this darkness in his life. I've never seen that in him. Every time I've seen him, you know, we're doing jiu-jitsu, he's smiling, he's loving life, he has so many friends. His clients like him, from what I can tell. It's like, I don't want to speak for all of them, but the ones that I've met, they all seem to love him. And this week, July 15th, he's fighting. He's fighting at the co-main event of, I should have it in front of me. I believe it's King of the Cage. I'll verify that. And this is not something that someone does in order to make a lot of money. People kind of think that now. Conor McGregor's kind of made it so MMA is kind of lucrative. This is not that kind of fight. This is Julian, and they're fighting because it's what he likes to do. You know, I've been reading a book called Rise of the Superman, which is all about flow states and how people can use that to reach optimum potential. And one thing they talk about is, in order to achieve a flow state, the stakes have to be high. You know, so they use the examples of big wave surfers, extreme sports athletes, where literally they die if they fail. And so what I see in my friends who are doing MMA fights, Julian included, is they're looking for something that is missing in the corporate life that I was alluding to earlier, something that my dad's never experienced, which is putting your life basically on the line. In an MMA fight, death has happened maybe once or twice, but I'm sure once you're in there, it feels as close to a near-death experience as it can be if it all goes wrong. You know, he has that in his mind. He's been knocked out. He's been choked out. He knows how brutal that can be. And so it fires him up. I've seen him since he's been training. He's got fire under his ass. He is excited to be in there. And I find it so fucking inspiring that I had to sit down. I want to get some off of him. You know, they say you're the product of the people around you. And when I'm around Julian, I feel better. I feel more inspired. I feel better about myself. I feel like I can do more. And I hope you guys get that out of this as well. So please, if you can, I'll put up links on my Facebook page, Tales McCock Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link in the thing. Go see him fight. Go see this man fight. Go support his cause. He does private lessons at 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu Orange. He teaches classes there. He teaches Muay Thai classes. He's amazing. If you're in the area, get him in your life. If you're not, I really hope you enjoy this. All right, guys, here it is. Coach Julian Waterbury, the WildChild.
Yeah. Perfect long shorts. Yeah. That's where I'm going.
We call them
Ready to do this, man?
Yes,
Excited?
always.
We're gonna get to the bottom of things, man. Coach Julian Waterbury, what the fuck, man?
Hey,
What the fuck?
what the fuck, when?
So, what's up, man? So here we are. We just did some jiu-jitsu.
We did.
Planet Orange, open mat, bunch of savages, bunch of people came up. Bunch of people didn't know we're doing a podcast right now, so they're standing around. Hello, friends.
What's up, brother?
I wish you could get your voices on this beautiful podcast as well, but we have 2 microphones.
microphones.
Welcome to hang out. If you guys have any pressing questions for Julian, we're getting to the bottom of things.
For sure.
He's really nervous about it.
Yeah.
Julian, you have a fight coming up, man.
That I do. July 15th, 2 weeks away.
2 weeks out? So what's training like 2 weeks out? What the fuck are you doing, man? I have no idea how fights work.
Today all I did was just, I went live with, and then drilled a little bit with Erica, some striking, some combos that I've been working on, or a combo I've been working on. And then this week the only real difference and change for training that is another gallon of water being drank. So 2 gallons of water this week.
Every day, 2 gallons?
Yes.
Is that hard? Sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes like I have to chug like half a gallon by the end of the night. But
In one sitting?
yeah,
In one go?
yeah. But
Okay.
well, it's not too bad. And then,
And what's the difference you feel? Just better cardio, or
it's for the weight cut the last week, so then that
okay.
way I can just shed the water, no problem. In the sauna.
okay. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I started cutting down the week of go down to 1 gallon, then half a gallon, then 1 smart water bottle.
What's your weight cut looking like?
About 10 pounds of water last
Okay.
week.
Not so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not so crazy. Still crazy that most people go through in their life.
Yeah, because 10 pounds for some is a lot. Yeah, but it's like no more than 10% of your body weight you should be cutting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, getting out of here.
Good seeing you.
So,
Well, what the fuck should we talk about, man? Some interesting stuff to say. I'm feeling a little sleepy, man. I had a long day yesterday. We had a tournament here.
Yeah, that was
In-house
good.
tournament was fun.
yeah.
I worked in this bar all night, man. It's keeping me up all night. Terrible sleep patterns.
How about Sharkies?
At
How's that going?
Sharkies.
How's that going?
It's madness, man. We're recording this. This is Sunday. Yesterday was the 1st of July. 4th of July weekend is just madness there. And it's throwing me off, man. My whole life is I'm nocturnal. I'm nocturnal. Not resting as well. You ever had a job like that? You ever been working
Actually,
at
I
night?
used to bounce when I was from 18 to about 22. Yeah, I did bounce work out in like Hollywood and Pasadena.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You enjoy that at all? You're like me. They're just grumpy.
I did, but I don't know. There are a bunch of Andy always has unhappy people that are just, in my opinion, just trying to show off a lifestyle that they don't actually truly live.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, 'cause I was the door guy because I'm short and I didn't always have this beard, so I looked like I was 14.
It's pretty intimidating right now.
Yeah, and so they had me at the door because I was at least a little cute, so the girls would always come in. And then, and the guys that with the flash that want to show off their fake life would come in. Yeah.
Big muscles.
Yeah.
Hair that's not the right color.
Yeah.
Skin that's a little too orange.
Yeah. Especially in Pasadena. Yeah. And in Hollywood, you got all those weirdos, which they were always really cool. Like,
cool weirdos.
yeah, you're hanging out, you're talking to the guy, and then all of a sudden they step back and they're crotchless. Oh shit. Yeah, I had a couple of those incidents. It's like, all right, well, nice to meet you, man. Oh, your dick's out. Right on.
Were you fighting back then? 18 to 22?
Not sanctioned fights.
Not sanctioned?
Not sanctioned.
All street fights?
Backyard and like at concerts and stuff.
Organized backyard fights?
Organized backyard fights.
What do you mean?
Like within,
what were you fighting in? You guys at a ring?
No, just friends would
Kimbo
call.
Slice style?
Yeah, friends would just call me and be like, "Hey, would you box Nick?" Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Were you making money off these fights?
No money.
That's what's up.
No money involved?
No, it was just...
No YouTube stardom?
No.
You get to the UFC from that?
No. It was just... No, we didn't even record them. It was just like, let's see which friend is tougher. And it was always... They were always
so you always
asking
knew the
me.
guy?
Yeah, it was always just
Okay.
our friends. One time, one dude pissed me off, and then that's how we settled it. It was just like, nah, dude, you're fucked up. I'm going to fight you real quick. We'll be friends after.
Yeah, that helps, huh?
Yeah.
It's hard to be mad at a guy after you fight him.
Yeah.
To go to war. You seem like a very poetic guy. How do you put that in a haiku?
What is it? 575?
575.
575.
Believe.
575. All right. 5 syllables.
Waiting.
I'll see if I can do it. Let's see. What am I putting in a haiku again?
Something about fighting.
Fighting.
Fighting your friends.
Fighting friends.
After you fight a friend, becomes after you fight a guy, can't be your enemy anymore.
Right now, you fucked up. So, we're going to settle this shit.
By going to war.
We can be friends after.
Wow. I always believed in you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Always believed
Thank
in you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. I see why they call you the WildChild.
Yeah.
Haiku ability.
Actually, it's sort of after like Jim Morrison, so it sort of is like haiku ability.
Okay.
Because Jim Morrison is the original WildChild.
He called himself that?
Yeah, he was Lizard King, WildChild.
He had a lot of names.
Yeah. And then Mojo Rising.
Mojo Rising.
Yeah. They used to call me Jim Morrison at my boxing gym. Because I didn't have this. Like I said, I just had like sideburns and long hair. They're like, hey, Jim Morrison! Jim Morrison! Like, hey, coach.
Long hair, beating to your own drum.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the one I was in college, I think. I was like 23. Yeah, 23, 24.
Yeah, man, last time we were hanging out, you're telling me some really cool stuff about, I always get interested when I hear that someone used to be fat. Because it's something I've never been through. This is the biggest I've ever been right now.
No shit.
This skinny little piece of shit is the biggest I've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always so interesting, man. You're telling right? No, it was just so interesting, man, because you're talking about getting picked on and like defending yourself as a young child. Again, not something I had to deal with. And it's just so cool, man.
Yeah, just bad habits from growing up. Bad snacks. I was just real fat. And then plus when I was 18, I moved out on my own and I was drinking and eating shitty fast food.
Yeah.
And then
it sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. And then but yeah, when I was younger, I was always like the chubby fat kid, a lot of sweets. And then I got picked on because I was small. So I fought a lot. because I didn't ever take the bullying. Yeah.
And what area are you in? You're in Los Angeles?
Norwalk. I grew up in Norwalk, and then from when I was 12, I moved to Fullerton, and then that's when I got into more fights. At least just like more. See, I don't really call them fights because they're always like the average street fight, which is like 20 seconds long. Over in Norwalk, when I was real small, I used to get in like brawls. Like there was always these couple kids that would try to pick on me or my friends, and we would end up fighting. And it was always like at least a big ordeal. Like
so, the difference between a fight and a brawl is like many people.
Yeah.
Messy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys like form lines and run at each other?
Like the end of X-Men. Fucking.
Is that how it always started?
No. No, it was usually just like this a kid picking on one of my friends or me, and then
a lot of fuck you. No, fuck you.
No, like when I was younger, it was just like picking on one of my buddies for like used to piss his pants, so they would pick on him for that. For me, it was always me being short, or I used to have a ponytail, so they would make fun of my ponytail and my pierced ear. And then
how old were you when you had a ponytail and a pierced ear?
I had it like I don't know. That was when I was like 11. Yeah.
So you're for sure the first one they've ever seen. The youngest person anyone's ever seen with a ponytail and a pierced ear.
Yeah. And then when I was 12, when I moved to Fullerton, I think I still had the ponytail and pierced ear. And then
that's good to know, man, because we see you in this in the jiu-jitsu gym, man. You got this wacky ass haircut, it's all long, shaved on the side. You have this wacky ass beard, badass boots at the gym, and now you just know, like, you've been doing this. It's not a new thing for Julian.
No, this is just me. I would have hair on the side of my head, but it gets like I shouldn't have long hair in general for what I do. But when I go to a concert and I start headbanging, it's weird if I don't have anything to throw around.
What's the next concert that you're going to? I want to go.
Slayer, Lamb of God, and Behemoth at Forum Coliseum. One of them.
It's gonna be a hell of a show.
Fucking A.
Metal and seats though?
No.
Stadium seats?
I got what's called pit tickets.
Oh shit.
I'm a pitter. I have to be in the pit.
That's an expensive pit ticket.
That was my birthday present because my birthday is August 1st.
Oh shit.
And it's August 5th, so that was my birthday present from Wyatt's mom and one of my buddies, DJ.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good gift when it has to come from multiple people.
Yeah.
They're all pitching in.
Oh yeah, it's a pit ticket. So I think I want to say it's like $200.
Okay, maybe I won't go to that one.
we have ways to finagle people down.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing it I've been going to shows since I was 13, 29, going to be 30 in August. So what is that? 17 years.
Okay.
I've been
get your black belt.
And dude, for sure, I have my black belt in concerts and like finagling people down to the floor.
Okay.
Like, I lost my ticket, but you have the wristband, or you don't have the wristband, but you have the ticket, and you just say, "Look, dude, I was pitting, the wristband fell off, or someone stole it," and then you just like you have to commit. You have to look the motherfucker in the eyes and commit to the motherfucking story, and just this is what's what.
You said to lie to the person,
dude, straight up. And then they go, "All right, but you're not coming out," and you go, "Oh, all right, for sure." And then after that conversation you had with the dude, he remembers you, so you just go, "Hey, what's up, man?" "Oh, hey, what up, dude?"
Oh. He remembers you, but not why.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Dude, I think that's my least favorite thing about being at Sharky's is everyone's just lying. There's so many lies going on.
Hey.
So one thing I keep doing, I keep asking people really naive questions. I keep asking them if people go to Sharky's to find true love. I've asked that to like a bunch of women. They always have like the same reaction you just did, a bearded grunt.
That's funny.
That's the only way I think I can get through that, man. It's just like messing with people and like trying to like get them to say something honest. It's weird. It's weird in that way because before this, man, I hadn't like been in a bar in like a year. Like I'm not comfortable in bars. Like I don't go out drinking much.
Yeah. Like
the only time I was a serious bar goer was I lived in Taipei, and that's a completely different scene.
Where's Taipei?
In northern Taiwan. right off the coast of China.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's just so different, man. Like, I got there right when good beer arrived, and Taiwanese women have always been big fans
Of good beer?
of American men.
Wow.
So the combination of those two things made it very exciting. And it was just cheap, man. I had extra money back then. I haven't had extra money since I came back to America 2 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Extra money is hard to come by.
Yeah. It's cool, though. I find it very inspiring that you find people to pay you for you to teach them martial arts.
Yeah.
It seems cool.
Yeah, it's something I've been doing for quite a while. I started teaching at LA Boxing when I was 23, so like almost 7 years. And
that was the next job after bouncing?
after bouncing, I sold weed for a long time.
Okay.
So
Profitably?
like even while I was bouncing, I was selling weed. Yeah, I used to like drive up north, transport like 5 to 15 like pounds, and I had to stop doing that because it was getting too much fun. And like
hate it when it's too much fun.
it was, yeah, and then like had a couple run-ins with the cops. Like I got pulled over and like nothing happened, but like
They didn't see the 15 pounds.
no. Or like, yeah, one time it was a K9 unit and I was on my motorcycle and I had a fucking like QP with scales and different other baggies and stuff, and I was like, well, so I'm at that point I was already losing weight and I was doing parkour. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking book it on this guy right now.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah, because I was a security guard. I used to check in trucks when they came by, and I would just have people come up and I would just sell them weed. Like,
Okay.
come up and they'd leave. And so when I was leaving work, all of a sudden a cop pulled out, got right behind me and turned on their lights, and I was like, all right, so this is it. I'm either gonna throttle this real quick or pull over and I'm gonna parkour this motherfucker. And then a truck sped by after he took my license and stuff. He came back, and then like as he was about to talk to me some more, a truck sped by running a red light, and then he jumped in his car and booked it.
Oh my god.
So he was asking me why my motorcycle had paper plates. Yeah. But he was like, the dog was barking like a motherfucker, and I was like, all right, so I'm gonna book it.
Have you ever found yourself where you actually ran away from a cop?
Yeah. I was, I don't know how old I was. I had to be 21. No, shit. I was 17. Holy shit.
Wow.
I was 17. Almost 18. I was 18. So, holy shit, yeah, I was 18. So, I was getting really drunk at my friend's house across the street from where I lived. I was in this program when I was a senior. My parents thought I was doing drugs and drinking, and I wasn't doing drugs or drinking until I was in the program. I got drunk the first time when my mom kicked me out. She kicked me out because she thought I was getting drunk. What I was doing is I was throwing parties for people on the weekends at my school. They would pay me and my friends $50, and we would throw parties and we would charge people because we had access to kegs. We stole 12 kegs from Heroes in downtown Fullerton.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we had access to kegs, and we had a guy that was over 21, so we would get them filled and we would throw parties at people's houses. We would get paid to do it. And so my mom thought I was doing drugs and drinking, but I was always a sober one because I had a van, so I was always the sober one driving. I was always in charge of the fucking parties, so I wouldn't drink. Then she kicked me out, and my van was broken down, so that was the first time I got fucking hammered because I didn't have anywhere to go, and I was pissed off, so I drank, and then I guess tried to start fights. So then they called my buddy Zach, and he came pick me up and stayed at his house for a while. But yeah, and then they put me in this program. That's when I was 17. And they were telling me I was smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed. I had smoked twice, didn't like it. One time made me real sick. One time just made me fall asleep. And so I was like, nah, I'm not into it. But I started sneaking out of the program and hanging out with my buddies Zach and Randy. They were smoking. So I was like, oh, I'm going to try this shit. And smoked. was like, I can see why they thought I was doing it. Holy shit, this is fucking awesome.
Do you think you would have still tried it at that moment if they didn't tell you you'd already been doing it?
If I wasn't in the program?
Like, if they didn't accuse you of it, do you think you still would have tried it then?
Eventually, I probably would have ended up smoking eventually. Like, I've always been into, like, I guess this stoner hippie culture. My dad is very much a hippie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, but, like I said,
It always seemed like it was meant to be for you.
Yeah, sort of.
Every time I've seen you, you've been very comfortably smoking.
Yeah. It's, I've been involved with the weed thing for a really long time. Like, when I was 18, I got my rec, and that was cool seeing, like, the development of different clinics now versus then.
Yeah, how's it changed? It's different. So I got my rec in 2009.
Oh,
That's
sure.
when I was 18. And that was the first time I saw, like, a hash bar. Like, it was right across the street from my school. It was the closest building to campus. Like, you couldn't get, like, milk or beer. Like, close to you can get hash hits. It was two for $5.
What school?
University of San Diego.
For sure.
Yeah. A surprising one. And, yeah, so 2009, that's when I first saw, like, dabs and stuff. But what was it like when you first did it? What year would that have been? 2005?
05.
Okay.
Yeah. I got mine through medical marijuana of Orange County.
More
And,
expensive back then?
It was $150, I think.
Okay.
I think it was just about, it was
that's
more
what I
expensive
paid.
because I think now I just
Now it's
paid
like 40.
$35, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's dropped so much.
yeah. But it was a really nice place on Dana Point. And then the guy had, like, what did he have, a Lotus or a Porsche? And it wasn't Jimenez. His name was spelled Jimenez, but it was Jimenez. Dr. Jimenez. And if you said Jimenez, he would correct you. Jimenez.
My name is Juan.
Juan. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But now there's weed shops everywhere, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was shocked. The first thing I noticed when I came back from Asia 2 years ago was weed billboards. That's something I never thought I'd see.
All right, off the 55
Billboards.
over here, yeah.
There's several of them.
And in Vegas, there were some too
Yeah.
for a couple of years ago. I started noticing that. Yeah, and now it's completely legal. Yeah, starting yesterday, July 1st.
Yeah, they're overrun, man.
Yeah.
They're an epidemic.
I've actually been to a clinic out there in
Oh, yeah?
Vegas. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was really nice. Yeah, because they honored, or back then they honored the California rec. And I heard that, so I
Like, they
wanted
just
to
honored
check
your
it out.
money. You come in there with anything, like, hey, don't have a rec, like, we honor that.
Now they do. No questions asked. Well, they just have to be over 21. Just like anything fun in Vegas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Except jiu-jitsu. It's all ages. Jiu-jitsu is popular out there, man. Dude, I went out to Vegas in December for the Ronda Rousey fight with my friends.
Uh-huh.
And obviously my friends like, we're going to Vegas, we're drinking and gambling. I'm like, all right, we're going to jiu-jitsu first. And I get down and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do any of that shit. Yeah, I feel like it all comes from, like, the same, like, energy reserve. And if you expel it in one way, it kind of decreases the desire for the others.
I can see that.
Which is why, like, Friday night's always my favorite time to train. Because, like, otherwise that's when it's like you're sitting at home, the anxiety's there. Like, man, just all I gotta do is leave the house and get some pussy, and I'll be fine. And 7 hours later, like, you spend all this money, you're drunk. Maybe you get pussy, maybe it works out.
Yeah.
But
I hear you.
training's better.
Yeah. I guess that's what I used to do. I would just make sure I was always training Friday nights.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm always teaching, so yeah. I teach over at Classic on Friday nights.
That's cool. Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared of Muay Thai.
Why is that?
Because I got punched in the face by a Thai guy a bunch of times. I'm scared of doing Muay Thai.
You didn't like getting punched in the face?
Hated it. That's so terrible. I don't think I ever told you, but I went to Thailand, like, thinking I was going to get a fight. Like, that was my whole plan. In the first sparring session, I was, like, lollygagging. Like, got paired off last. And the guy I went up against, the week later, he won the Thai boxing, like, Western-style boxing in Thailand. He won he got second place in the country.
So he fucked you up a little bit?
With his hands down. Hands down, chin up. He boxed like Anderson Silva. It's like
Just
no
moving his head.
regard. Like I felt so dumb, and I was just seeing stars. I was like, that can't be good. And that was back when Joe Rogan was on like a huge concussion kick. You remember that was like the main topic of the podcast for like a solid 6 months.
Yeah,
So that's all I was listening to, and like all the doctors, and I was like, I just don't think this shit I'd be doing. So right back to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's like when you just get drunk and you just kind of say, you know what, it's just because I'm getting drunk. That's why my equilibrium isn't correct. I've been drinking. Yeah, you make up for it and give an excuse.
You mean that your equilibrium is off because you got hit in the head a bunch?
Yeah, so you go drinking after you go sparring, you go drinking, right? So then that way you can blame.
So you confuse the effects.
You blame the alcohol for the effects.
It's this half beer I had. That's why
Exactly.
I woke up 6 hours later.
Exactly. My head isn't right because I've been drinking. It's like, well, why are you drinking? I had sparring earlier.
Okay. Good cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I imagine you've had a ton of concussions in your life.
Probably.
Any
I'd assume
diagnosed?
so. I don't think so. Yeah, one when I was in high school. I was dropped on my head first day of pads of football. I was 4'8". 4'8"? Yeah, I was 4'8".
Wow.
And my buddy Randy picked me up and dropped me on my head. Gave me a concussion. We did the big three, which is bear crawls, back pedal, sprint. I started the bear crawls, and then all of a sudden my coach was above me kicking my helmet going, Waterbury, you all right? And I was like, what the fuck? Because I was still doing the bear crawls. I was just on my side. I was just all fucked up.
So he picked you up and dropped you like when you're not doing anything aggressive? It was just
No, we were
training.
doing the.
You're just doing bear crawls?
No, we were doing the hit drills. We were doing first day of pads, so we were doing hit drills, and we were paired up. He picked me up, dropped me on my head, ran back to line. They called big three. I lined up on the line, started doing them, and then apparently I stopped. Yeah.
Have you been choked out much in jiu-jitsu?
Like loss of consciousness?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I don't mind tapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it's really refreshing to go to sleep.
Damn.
You wake up like a couple seconds later, like, all right.
Quick.
A little wide-eyed.
I think that's what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, I was telling something they should just go to sleep.
Quick power nap.
The quickest, most powerful nap.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's hard to plan. I don't want to plan to go to sleep, but when it happens, I kind of baseball choke in Taiwan. That's where I realized the power. The power nap.
Damn. I don't know. I'd be worried about the whole like shitting yourself or like.
Yeah, but that comes like if they hold it. Like you gotta trust the guy. Like, dude, if we're going and like you're choking me and I fall asleep, like you'll notice within like a second. And then you have to hold it for like 11 more, like the longest 11 seconds of your life.
I choked out my buddy Marty.
And you noticed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's not
He's
fighting
asleep.
anymore.
He's asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe. But, yeah, don't get someone that's going to hold it. What the fuck's wrong with that person? So I think that's what a lot of people think happens, like, in jiu-jitsu. When I tell people about getting choked to sleep or, like, the devastation of joint locks or heel hooks, it's like, oh, my God, you must be destroyed. It's like, well, but the guy lets go.
Yeah.
So you could shit yourself if you get put to sleep, but I think you'll be all right, man. Anyone good enough to put you to sleep is good enough to recognize that you're asleep, especially at your level, man.
Unless it's like real.
Oh, that's his intention? Is like, I'm gonna make this dude shit himself? Yeah, but that's out of your control, man. There's nothing you can do about that anyway.
That's his intention. I'm gonna make this guy shit himself. That's some good
that's pretty
intentions.
evil.
Yeah.
Like, the only person I can see doing that is like if Wes Levine goes to like something really bad in life and just wants to take it out on people. Just like rampages through the academy, kind of joking, but kind of just wants them to shit themselves.
He can
have
do
the
it.
power.
He's strong as shit.
And it'd be out of our control, man. Like, all we can do is try our best, and he's still gonna do it. As I noticed today, man, like, rolling with that dude is, like, so terrifying. Because it's, like, it's easy to make excuses when you get beat up by someone. Like, oh, he just did that because he's bigger and stronger. Like, oh, he just did that because he's a brown belt. And with Wes, both are exactly accurate. Like, his technique's awesome, and he's 200% stronger than me.
Yeah. Hercules.
But that's what makes it fun, right?
Hercules.
When did you start doing jiu-jitsu, man?
22, so like 8 years ago.
Cool.
Started just learning what was it? Just an arm bar. No, maybe it was
At an
Kimura.
academy?
LA Boxing. I was already doing boxing. My buddy told me that our friend's cousin was teaching at LA Boxing Yorba Linda, so then I could go there because I was a member at Fullerton. So I was alright. So Wednesdays I started going over there for jiu-jitsu. And then learned.
Were you excited about it or just something to do? Something free?
I was curious. I was curious about jiu-jitsu. You know, and then my buddy Tony, he's like a brother, so anything that he hits me up to do and that he wants to do, I'm gonna go with him.
Wow.
So like, yeah, we tried it out, and
If
all we were
someone trusted me that much.
yeah.
Just take my suggestions.
And then we tried it out, and then we were just laughing the entire time because both of us are strikers. Like my buddy Tony, he's a street, like literally, he's been in, like, you ever seen that movie Knockaround Guys?
No.
Never seen Knockaround Guys, dude. All right.
So what happens in this movie?
So, fucking Vin Diesel's in it.
Okay.
Right? And he's this tough dude, and he has this speech where he's like, 300 street fights, you can consider yourself an official tough guy. Right? Tony is that fucking character.
Tony's a tough guy.
Tony's a fucking legitimate tough guy. Don't remember what I was getting to with this. Oh, that's why we were training. Because the second we go to the ground, like, or we would always get taken down, like when we were fighting, because that's when we were fighting, like, at concerts or at like bars. And he got put in a triangle one time, and we started just training jiu-jitsu, and Tony tapped. Tony tapped to the guy. The guy was like, "No, fuck that! You're gonna go to sleep." Tony went, like, shrugged his shoulders and gave him a thumbs up. And then, like, all right, let's fucking do it. And then I walked up to the guy and I was like, if you don't let him the fuck go, I'm gonna stomp your fucking face. And he went, shoop, opened up his legs. Because he was on his back still. Just Tony couldn't get out of the triangle. But,
He pulled a triangle from guard, like, on cement?
That's
terrifying to me.
Alright, so I worked at Round Table. I was a manager at Round Table. And
Jack of all trades.
It was the night Jake Shields fought Dan Henderson. Strike Force.
I remember that.
So,
it was the night Strike Force bet their entire company that Dan Henderson's gonna beat him.
And then
Jake Shields didn't even have a contract coming up.
And then the Diaz brothers single-handedly shut down Strike Force because they were on NBC and then jumped Mayhem.
Jumped him after his fight.
On live TV.
In the ring.
Yeah. And so we were hanging out at Round Table. There was a frat party going on, and some dude started talking shit on the high school Tony went to, and threatened him with his friends that if you want to fucking talk about it, I got all my fucking friends over here, his frat brothers and shit. So Tony stood up, took off his watch, and said, "I'm scared of no man," and started walking over there.
Oh, no.
And they all kind of swarmed on him. My buddy Trevor, the caveman, I don't know if you know him, Caveman MMA, fucking just goes in like a bull, taking people out, and I was pulling Tony out because it was fucking worked. And we went around, we were looking for the guy that started it. All of a sudden, I turned because I see Tony fighting somebody else. I see somebody hit a car, and it's because Tony pushed the dude, and the guy bounces off the car, and then starts skipping around like, oh shit, he picked the one guy that actually knew something. Like, he's on his toes, he's moving his head, and Tony squares up and then just straight leg kicks him, uppercut, hook cross, shoves him against the car, and then that made the guy like lose balance, and then Tony jumped, like clinched. They went to the ground, and then that's when the guy locked in the triangle. Tony was like squirming, tried to lift him up, and then shook around a little bit, tapped, and gave that thumbs up. That guy ended up being like a teacher at HB Ultimate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just got good insight into why I've never been in a street fight. Is because I don't have any loyalty to any of my schools. You start making fun of my school, and I just think that's kind of weird that you care that much about my school. I've noticed that a lot. Like, people try to bring that up with me. Like, man, you went to Mater Day. Mater Day fucking sucks.
Mater Day?
Yeah, man, I didn't like it either. It was a rough time in my life. And acne, it sucked, yeah. I know. I agree.
That's funny.
Hey, are there any good reasons for a street fight? Do you still find any?
No, I haven't been.
Any like, I don't want to use the word valid, but like, something that you look back and be like, yeah, that was a good reason. Like making fun of my school doesn't sound like one. Looking at my girl doesn't sound like one. Any like the hack ones I could think of.
But that's the thing. Like we've never really been like ones to instigate like something. Yeah.
Why do you think so many people are talking shit to you, man?
Because we're having a good time. People don't like other people having a good time. Like, or if it's not focused on them, if the good time isn't focused on them.
They want some attention.
Yeah.
They just want to join your party, man.
Yeah, and I understand I'm cool as shit. Like, I get it.
That's how this happened, man.
Hey.
That's how to get you on the podcast. Cool as
Okay,
shit, man.
I appreciate it.
It's just a video podcast. People see how cool you look.
Hey, I look cool all the
I
time.
take a photo before we go.
All right.
You getting hungry, man?
Yeah. I actually am.
And you eat some green tomatoes?
Yeah, they have poke.
Do they?
Yeah.
And everything.
They do.
Cool.
I would want a black and calamari burrito. That shit's delicious. Anytime I Twister Erica, or anybody for that matter, I go for Brad too. I get Brad and Erica as much as I can, because then I go, hey, we gotta go eat burritos. Yeah. Lately it's been green tomato grill.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate telling us crazy stories. Anything you want to say before we go, man? Any dark secrets?
Dark secrets? I'm fighting July 15th. Come for tickets. $40.75 in Vegas. Then we can come party after.
Boom.
In downtown Las Vegas.
Julian's cool as shit. It's in your best interest.
Yes.
Alright, man. Love you.
Later, guys.
Thank you very much to my guest, Julian Waterbury. Appreciate all you guys listening. Hope you found it as inspiring as I did. If you guys like the podcast, tell your friends, tell your enemies. If you don't like the podcast, send me a message. Let me know why. Tell me I suck. It's cool. I can take it. And if you can, go see Julian Waterbury fight. July 15th in Vegas. kingofthecage.com. Oh, wait. I got it right in front of me. Let me make sure that's right. kingofthecage.com. July 15th. Las Vegas, Nevada. Co-main event. Julian Waterbury. Boom. Get into it. I'm going to play you guys out with another work-related thing. This is Doug Stanhope starting his album Deadbeat Hero. This is a real guy.
Did you work hard all week? Don't do that. Don't drink on weekends either. When people come out Friday, Saturday, don't drink. If you're going to feel like shit tomorrow, drink Sunday through Thursday. If you're going to feel like shit, do it on the company dime. What are you going to do on Monday morning that you need to be wide awake and alert for, right? Oh, I deliver Pepsi products. Well, do it with a hangover. Fuck them. Drink on the job. Fucking waste your nice weekend. You could be doing something good for yourself. I'm only drinking tonight just to keep up my Cal Ripken-like perfect attendance streak. But it's just token, you know? Whatever. If you don't do shit you hate, people work jobs hate. There's another way. Whatever it is you do, fucking quit. Go in Monday and steal a bunch of shit and quit. If you don't absolutely love it, if you wouldn't do it for free, and steal big shit too. Don't grab some, stationery and paper clips just to make a statement. Grab some big cash registers and computer monitors. Get the fuck out. People talk to you and they try to convince you that they like what they do just because it sucks less than what they used to do that sucked a lot. And they'll try to convince you like it's going to make them really enjoy it. I love my job. They regurgitate shit their guidance counselor taught them in high school that got them into a shitty job to begin with. And they regurgitate all that rhetoric. They say, I like my job at Banana Republic because I get to work with people. Work with people. You stack pants, for fuck's sake. The people you meet say, I'm just looking, and they try to get away from you. That's not how you work with people. Go to whore or something, you know? Do something. Oh. I had 2 women walk out of a show in Minneapolis, which is nothing out of the ordinary. People will leave.
Doug Stanhope. Boom.